Hi everyone. Welcome to English Story School. What if I told you that victory isn't a one-time thing, but a lifestyle? That's not about waiting for the perfect moment, but about making the most of every single step you take? What if I told you that victory is a habit, and the best part is you can make it yours? We've all heard the phrase success doesn't come overnight, but what if success is a series of small, consistent victories? What if the key to winning is not in the final moment of triumph, but in the process of making victory your habit every single day? Chapter 1. The start of victory. It's all in your routine. What if I told you that victory isn't a one-time achievement? What if I told you that the secret to winning, to living a life of greatness, lies not in isolated moments of success, but in the small, consistent choices you make every single day? Victory, my friend, is a habit, and it starts the moment you open your eyes. Let me paint a picture for you. The world around you is waking up. The sun may be shining, or the sky might still be cloaked in darkness, but what truly matters is what you decide to do when your alarm goes off. Most people, when they hear that beep, give in to the familiar temptation, the snooze button, the half-hearted scroll on their phones. They let the day unfold on its own, passive and without purpose. But there's a different breed of people, the winners. The winners don't wait for the day to happen. They create it. They get up early, before the world has a chance to make demands on them. And they take control. They begin their day not with hesitation, but with a series of deliberate actions that set the tone for everything that follows. Making your bed, a simple act, but a small victory in itself. The cold shower, a shock to your system that wakes you up in the most powerful way possible. A glass of water, hydrating not just your body, but your sense of commitment to the day ahead. These aren't small things. They aren't insignificant at all. They are the foundation of your victory. Each tiny act of discipline, each tiny step forward compounds and builds momentum. Before you know it, you've set the stage for a day filled with wins. The thing about victory is that it doesn't happen in one fell swoop. It doesn't come from a single moment of greatness. It comes from consistency. It comes from showing up every day, making the right decisions, even when you don't feel like it. The winners know that victory isn't a destination. It's a process. It's the result of the daily choices, the daily actions, and the daily mindset that you choose to embrace. And here's the powerful truth. If you can turn these small victories into habits, you begin to shape the person you become. You don't need to wait for that one big break. You don't need to look for the big win. It's all about creating a life full of small victories that accumulate and compound over time. You've probably heard the saying, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. That's the core of it. It's not about the flashy moments that the world sees. It's not about that one-time achievement. It's about the invisible victories that happen behind the scenes, the moments of discipline, the moments of pushing through, the moments of consistency. Imagine, for a moment, a life where every day is a series of intentional victories. What would that look like for you? How would you feel knowing that each small action you take is a step closer to becoming the person you're destined to be? The winners get up early, not because they have to, but because they want to. They take responsibility for their mornings because they know that it sets the tone for everything that comes after. They create momentum with each action, building habits that are impossible to break. They refuse to let their days happen by chance. And here's the kicker. The more you repeat these small victories, the more they become part of who you are. You don't just win on the outside, you become a winner on the inside. Your mindset shifts. Your discipline becomes second nature. Your consistency becomes a force that the world can't ignore. So, ask yourself, what kind of routine do you want to build? What small victories can you start incorporating into your mornings? It's not about perfection. It's not about always feeling motivated or inspired. It's about showing up again and again and making the small choices that will eventually lead you to greatness. Victory is not a one-time event. It's a habit, and it's a habit that you can start right now with every choice you make. The choice is yours. What will your morning routine look like today? Will it be the first step toward a life filled with victory, or will it be just another day of letting life pass you by? Remember, it's all in your routine, and it's all in your hands. Chapter 2, The Battle Within, Pushing Through the Struggles. Let me ask you something. What happens when the going gets tough? When it feels like the weight of the world is pressing down on your shoulders, and every step forward takes more energy than you have left. When your motivation is at an all-time low, and the last thing you want to do is keep fighting. This is where the true test begins. This is where most people fail. They give up, they stop trying, and they let themselves be crushed by circumstances. They let fear, doubt, and pain dictate their next move. They think they've reached their limit, and so they quit. But here's the thing. The winners don't quit when things get tough. They rise. You see, victory isn't born in moments of ease. It's not forged in comfort. It's built in the struggle. Every time you push through the pain, the fatigue, the self-doubt, and the fear of failure, you create a new level of strength. With each battle you fight against that inner voice telling you to stop, you reinforce the habit of victory. We all face those moments when we want to throw in the towel, when we feel exhausted, defeated, and ready to give up. But those moments, those are the moments that matter most. When you feel like you have nothing left to give, that's when victory is waiting for you. The challenge is simple. Keep going. Real victories don't come easily. They don't come when you're comfortable or when everything is falling into place. No, they come when you're struggling. They come when your body is tired, your mind is clouded with doubt, and every ounce of your being is screaming, stop. That's when you know you're on the verge of something great. It's in these moments, in the depths of your struggle, that your true character is forged. The world doesn't need more people who are willing to quit when things get tough. It needs people who are willing to fight through the struggle, who are willing to rise when the odds are stacked against them. The winners are the ones who don't let their circumstances define them. They redefine their circumstances. The struggle is where the growth happens. It's where the transformation occurs. Every time you choose to push through the pain, you become stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for the battles ahead. It's not about avoiding pain or running from hardship. It's about embracing the discomfort, knowing that it's through those challenges that you'll emerge victorious. Let's be real. Life is hard. It's messy, unpredictable, and often unfair. But the winners don't shy away from those harsh realities. They face them head-on with grit and determination. They don't let the struggle break them. They let it shape them into the person they need to be in order to win. There's an old saying, the obstacle is the way. It means that the very things you're trying to avoid, the things that seem to be in your way, are often the very things that will lead you to your victory. The struggles you face, the obstacles you overcome, are the stepping stones that will help you reach your goals. Without them, without those challenges, there would be no growth. There would be no victory. And let's talk about the inner battle for a second. Every successful person has one. This internal war between the voice that says you can't do it and the one that says you have to keep going. It's a war between fear and courage, between comfort and growth, between weakness and strength. The winners are the ones who silence the voice of doubt and listen to the voice of persistence. They understand that the more they push against their inner resistance, the more they strengthen their resolve. Here's the truth. The battle within is where your true power lies. It's easy to keep going when everything is perfect, but when your body is tired, your mind is filled with doubts, and the weight of the world seems too much to bear, that's when your power is tested. And when you push through anyway, that's when you create real victory. Think about it. Every time you choose to show up, even when you don't feel like it, you're building a muscle. Every day you decide to face your fear, you're getting stronger. Every time you refuse to quit, you're one step closer to becoming the person you want to be. The victory habit isn't about winning every battle. It's about continuing to fight even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about keeping your eyes on the prize, even when the path seems unclear. So, what do you do when things get tough? You rise. You keep going. You don't let the struggles define you. You define the struggle. Every moment you choose not to quit is a victory in itself. And as you build that habit, you'll find that victory becomes second nature. The tough times no longer have the power to break you. They become the catalyst for your strength, your growth, and your ultimate success. It's all in your mindset. You can either choose to be defeated by your struggles, or you can choose to use them as fuel for your rise. The winners understand this. They've been through the battles, and they've come out stronger on the other side. And so can you. The key is to push through, to battle your inner demons, to rise when everything inside you tells you to stop. Because that's when the real victory happens. Chapter 3. Mental Victory. Strengthen your mind. Victory isn't just about physical endurance, it's about your mind. It's about the belief that no matter how hard it gets, you will not back down. It's about mental fortitude, the unshakable confidence that you can handle whatever challenges come your way. Have you ever heard someone say, "You're only as strong as your mind"? Well, it's not just a cliche, it's the truth. Your mind has more power than you realize. It can either be your greatest ally or your worst enemy. And when it comes to victory, your mental strength will make all the difference. The winners of this world don't just rely on physical strength, sheer luck, or external resources. They rely on their mental toughness. Your physical body can only take you so far, but it's your mind that keeps you moving when you're exhausted, when you're at your breaking point. It's your mindset that dictates whether you'll rise or fall, succeed or fail. If you can conquer your mind, you can conquer anything. Let's face it, the world is tough. It doesn't care if you're tired or if you feel like giving up. Life throws challenges at you when you least expect it, and some days will feel impossible. You'll face setbacks, disappointments, and moments when everything seems to be going wrong. But the winners, the ones who succeed, are the ones who understand this fundamental truth. Their mind is their greatest asset, and they take the time to strengthen it. When everything around you is falling apart, when the weight of the world is heavy on your shoulders, it's your mental strength that will pull you through. It's your mind that will keep you going when your body is begging you to quit. This is where the difference between winners and losers lies. The winner knows that victory is won in the mind first, long before it's seen in the physical world. So, how do you build this mental strength? It doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, but it begins with belief. You must first believe that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Your mind must become a fortress, a place of clarity and focus where doubt and fear are banished. The stronger your belief in yourself, the more invincible you become. There's an old saying, what the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. This isn't just motivational fluff. It's a law of success. Your mind shapes your reality. If you consistently tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never make it, then that will become your reality. But if you train your mind to focus on possibilities, to see challenges as opportunities, and to persist in the face of adversity, your reality will shift. You will start attracting success. The mind is a powerful tool, but like any other muscle in the body, it needs exercise. It needs training, and that training starts with thoughts. Every thought you think is either pushing you closer to victory or pulling you away from it. Negative thoughts are like weights that slow you down, while positive thoughts are like the fuel that propels you forward. One of the key exercises in strengthening your mind is learning to control your thoughts. It's easy to let your mind wander and get lost in negative patterns, especially when things aren't going well. But the winners know how to direct their thoughts, to focus on solutions instead of problems, on progress instead of setbacks. They don't let temporary circumstances dictate their mindset. Instead, they train their minds to stay calm, to stay focused, and to stay determined, no matter the obstacles in their way. This doesn't mean ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is okay when it's not. It means approaching those challenges with a mindset that says, I can handle this. I will find a way. This is just a step in my journey. It means accepting the discomfort, knowing that it's part of the process, and continuing to move forward anyway. Another powerful tool in building mental strength is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to face failure, and to rise again with even greater determination. The winners don't let failure stop them. They use it as a stepping stone, a lesson learned that they can apply in the future. Every setback is an opportunity to grow, to refine your skills, and to come back stronger than before. Resilience doesn't come naturally to everyone. It's something you develop over time. But the more you face challenges head-on and refuse to be defeated, the more resilient you become. And the more resilient you are, the more unstoppable you become. This is the mental habit that winners cultivate. They don't avoid failure. They embrace it because they know it's not permanent. Failure doesn't define them. It's just a detour, a lesson, a part of their journey. Along with resilience, it's essential to develop self-discipline. Discipline is the backbone of mental strength. It's the ability to stay focused on your goals, even when you don't feel like it, when distractions are all around, when the path forward is unclear. Discipline is what keeps you going, even on the tough days when your mind is trying to talk you out of it. It's what turns ambition into achievement, because success doesn't happen without consistent effort. If you want to strengthen your mind, start with self-discipline. Start by creating small, achievable goals and sticking to them. Create routines that support your success and build habits that contribute to your growth. Discipline is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. And as your discipline strengthens, so does your mental toughness. One of the most important elements of mental victory is emotional control. Your emotions can either drive you forward or hold you back. When life gets tough, it's easy to let frustration, anger, or fear dictate your actions. But emotional control means staying calm in the face of adversity, not allowing your emotions to control your decisions. It means responding to situations with a clear, focused mind, rather than reacting impulsively based on temporary feelings. The winners know that emotions, while important, don't define them. They acknowledge their feelings, but don't let them dictate their actions. They understand that their ability to control their emotions is directly tied to their ability to succeed. And the more you practice this, the more powerful you become. To sum it up, mental victory is the foundation of all true success. Your mind is your greatest weapon, and it can either build you up or tear you down. The choice is yours. Strengthen it through belief, resilience, self-discipline, and emotional control, and you'll find that victory becomes inevitable. Because once your mind is strong, everything else will fall into place. The victories you seek, both big and small, will start showing up in your life. Because when you train your mind to win, success is just a matter of time. Chapter 4. Consistency, the secret to building the victory habit. If you want to turn victory into a habit, you need to show up every single day. Not sometimes, not when you feel like it, but every day. It's the small, consistent actions that accumulate over time and build the foundation for extraordinary success. You don't need to be extraordinary from the start, but you do need to be consistent. Think about it. A winner isn't someone who only works hard when the spotlight is on them or when the applause is coming their way. The real winners, the ones who achieve lasting success, are the ones who show up when no one is watching. They put in the hours when it's not glamorous. They work even when they don't feel like it, when the motivation is low, and when external validation is nowhere in sight. They're not waiting for the right moment or the perfect circumstances. They create those circumstances through their consistent effort. The world is full of dreamers, of people who have potential but lack the follow-through. They want to be successful, they want victory, but they aren't willing to do the small things that lead to the big wins. Consistency is the difference between those who only dream and those who make those dreams their reality. It's not about the grand gestures. It's about the little things you do every day that compound over time. The winners don't look for shortcuts. They don't look for a way to avoid the work. Instead, they embrace the grind. They know that small, daily actions like reading a book, exercising, working on their craft will accumulate and, in time, lead to massive victories. The problem is, most people stop just before they're about to make a breakthrough. They get discouraged when results don't show up right away. They get bored, or they get frustrated, and they quit. This is where the gap between winners and everyone else becomes clear. The winners are the ones who keep showing up, even when it's tough, even when it feels like progress is slow, even when the results are not immediately apparent. This is the essence of the victory habit. It's the ability to keep going even when you're not seeing instant results. It's about keeping the faith in the process and trusting that your consistent effort will pay off. It's the willingness to do what others won't, day in and day out, even when the road is long and the journey feels endless. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not the stuff of viral posts or motivational speeches, but it's the backbone of every success story. Success isn't built in a day. It's the result of hundreds, thousands, and even millions of small decisions, actions, and efforts that add up over time. Each day, when you commit to showing up, you're making a deposit in your success bank. Some days will feel like withdrawals, where things don't go as planned, but if you keep showing up, the balance will steadily grow. Think of your daily actions like drops of water filling a bucket. At first, the drops seem insignificant, but after a while, the bucket starts to fill, and you begin to see the results of all those small, consistent actions. Eventually, that bucket will overflow with success, but only because you kept showing up day after day, doing the work, trusting the process. Here's another secret. The victory habit isn't just about showing up when things are easy. It's about showing up when things are tough, when you're tired, when life has thrown you a curveball, when every part of you wants to quit. The winners don't take breaks when the going gets tough. They push through. They get up and keep moving, even when their body and mind beg them to stop. It's these moments, these tests of endurance, that build the strength needed to carry you to the finish line. This is where most people falter. They stop because the journey gets hard. They stop because the rewards don't come as quickly as they expected. But success doesn't work that way. Success doesn't care about instant gratification. It's about delayed rewards, about building something that lasts. And consistency is the glue that holds it all together. To make victory a habit, you must learn to ignore the distractions, the temptations to stop, and the noise that tells you to quit. These are just obstacles trying to prevent you from becoming who you're meant to be. The true winners understand that there will always be challenges, always be days where you feel defeated or discouraged. But the winners know that those challenges are part of the journey, not the end of it. They don't let them dictate their future. Now, let's talk about your daily routine. Do you have one? Does it support the habit of victory? Are you making time for the activities that matter most to your growth and success? Or are you allowing distractions to steal your time? Your routine is everything. It's what sets the tone for your day and, ultimately, your life. If you don't have a daily routine that includes the small actions that lead to big success, you're leaving victory to chance. Building a winning routine doesn't require drastic changes. It's about small, incremental shifts. Wake up 30 minutes earlier to work on yourself. Read for 15 minutes. Exercise. Take action toward your goals every single day. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the right mood. Show up. That's the key. Here's another truth. Success isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things. Your time is limited, and how you choose to spend it will determine your future. Winners don't waste time on things that don't matter. They focus their energy on activities that bring them closer to their goals, and they do them consistently. Consistency requires discipline. It requires the courage to say no to distractions, to things that take you away from your purpose. It requires the strength to keep moving forward, even when the path is unclear. And most importantly, it requires the determination to never give up, no matter how many setbacks you face. If you've been struggling to create the victory habit, ask yourself, what am I willing to commit to today, regardless of how I feel? What action can I take, no matter how small, that will bring me closer to my goals? The answers to these questions will help you build the consistency you need to turn victory into a habit. And here's the final truth. Victory is a choice. Every day, you choose whether or not you'll show up. Every day, you decide whether or not you'll do the work, whether or not you'll be consistent. And it's those small choices, made consistently, that will determine whether you succeed or fail. The winners aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're the ones who make the choice to show up every single day. And that, my friend, is the secret to building the victory habit. Chapter 5, Legacy. Your victory inspires others. Now, this part is where the magic happens. When victory becomes your habit, it doesn't just change your life, it impacts everyone around you. People begin to see a different side of you. The person who was once just trying to survive is now thriving, leading, and showing others what's possible when you commit to victory every day. Victory isn't just about personal gain. It's about creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond you. And here's the secret. You may not even realize it at first, but as you walk the path of victory, others will begin to take notice. They will see the fire in your eyes, the consistency in your actions, and the quiet power of your habits. They'll watch how you navigate life's challenges and rise every time you fall. And without you even saying a word, you'll inspire them to take control of their own lives. At first, it might seem small, one person asking how you do it, another quietly admiring your discipline. But as these moments accumulate, so does the power of your example. Your actions begin to speak louder than any words ever could. People don't just want to hear how you did it. They want to follow in your footsteps. They want the same victories, the same confidence, the same resilience. They want to know how you've made victory your habit. And that's the true essence of legacy. When your victory becomes your habit, it doesn't stay confined to you. It leaks into the lives of those around you, changing their thinking, their actions, and their trajectory. Your journey is no longer just your own. It becomes a beacon of possibility for others. It's a reminder that greatness is accessible to anyone who's willing to put in the work. Legacy isn't about the medals, the awards, or the accolades. Those are fleeting moments of recognition that will eventually fade away. What really matters is how many lives you touch, how many people you inspire to rise above their own circumstances and pursue their potential. The true victory isn't in what you accomplish alone, but in how many people you lift along the way. Think about it. When you rise, others rise with you. It's like lighting a fire that spreads. As your habits of victory become ingrained in you, they will inspire others to set their own habits, their own goals, and their own visions of success. The more you show up, the more others will believe they can show up too. And when they start believing in themselves, that's when the real change begins. In the beginning, it might feel like no one is watching. You might question whether your efforts are truly making a difference. But trust me, they are. Every time you push through a challenge, every time you stay consistent, every time you refuse to quit, there are eyes watching, silently learning from your actions. And these are the moments that build your legacy. You may not see it right away, but your victory creates a ripple effect. One small victory leads to another, and soon, people in your circle will start shifting. They'll adopt your mindset, your habits, and they'll begin to experience their own victories. And then they'll pass it on. Your victories become theirs, and the cycle continues, expanding outward in ways you could never have predicted. But it's not just about inspiring others to rise. It's about teaching them how to stay victorious. It's about showing them that victory isn't something reserved for the lucky or the extraordinary. It's something that can be cultivated by anyone every single day. And this is where your true legacy lies, in the knowledge that you've empowered others to create their own path to victory. You don't have to be a motivational speaker or a celebrity to leave a legacy. You just have to be consistent. You just have to show up. Your life, your victories, become the inspiration that others need to step into their own power. And that's the beauty of the victory habit. It doesn't just change your life, it transforms those around you. In the end, when people look back at the mark you left, they won't remember the individual trophies or accolades you received. What they'll remember is how you made them feel, how your actions inspired them to take action, how your consistency lit a fire in them to achieve their own dreams. That is the ultimate victory, not the external rewards, but the internal shift you create in others. The belief that victory is possible and that anyone can achieve it if they have the courage to keep showing up. And when you build that kind of legacy, it lasts forever. It becomes a story passed down generation after generation, a story of victory, perseverance, and the power of habit. In the end, the legacy you leave behind is not just your success story. It's the success story of everyone who was inspired by you, who followed your lead, and who took your example to heart. And that, my friend, is how greatness is built. One victory at a time, shared, multiplied, and passed forward to those who need it most. Victory is not a destination. It's a lifestyle, a habit, a series of small, daily actions that lead to greatness. It's about starting strong, pushing through struggles, strengthening your mind, staying consistent, and inspiring others. The more you make victory your habit, the more you'll experience its power. And soon, victory won't be something you hope for. It'll be something you live. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.